Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Apple Valley High School. My name is Drew Mons and I'm the proud principal here at Apple Valley High School. AVHS is a STEM school that is dedicated to academics, arts, and athletics. In addition to our audience in the gymnasium today, we are live streaming this event for friends and family all over the world. So thank you for joining us on this special occasion. I'm honored to be the MC of today's program, and I welcome everyone here to our annual Veterans Day ceremony. Our Veterans Day celebration was started under the leadership of our former principal, Steve Degenar, and it is my honor to continue this tradition as the MC for today's event. This is a special day for us at Apple Valley High School. Students, attendees, you'll notice that the tone and the mood of this assembly are different from many of our other school events. Today, we recognize the core values of honor, sacrifice, dignity that are central to America's armed forces. These values are also central to who we are as a school, a community, and a nation. Along with many of you, I share connections with the United States military. I have 3 members who have served or are currently serving in the United States Army, Air Force, and Marines. To demonstrate this connection, I'd like to ask any of you to please stand if you have a family member or a close friend who is currently serving. We also want to give special thanks to the many veterans and active duty military personnel who are our guests of honor this morning. At this time, I ask that all veterans and active duty military personnel, will you please stand or wave to be recognized? Thank you for your service. It is time for the posting of the colors presented by the Apple Valley American Legion Post 1776. Everyone, please rise. Please join the Valley Select Chorale as they sing our national anthem under the direction of Mr. Joel Beyer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Thank you, Mr. Byer and the Valley Select Chorale and the Apple Valley American Legion post 1776. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce our special guests who are joining us on the stage today. Folks, you may be seated, please. Joining us on today, we're honored to have District 196, Director of Secondary Schools, Eric Hansen. Mr. Hansen. Seated next to Mr. Hansen is our Superintendent of Schools and former Apple Valley High School Principal, Mr. Michael Bolsoni. We're always thankful to have Dakota County Commissioner Mary Heyman Rowland join us. Also with us today is Apple Valley City Mayor Clint Hoopa. And our keynote speaker today, Mr. David Passmore. Seated in the audience, we have some other members from the city and local government here. Apple Valley City Administrator Tom Lowell. And he's also joined today by Apple Valley City Council members John Bergman, and Tom Goodwin, who is also a member of the Color Guard and is retiring from the City Council after 40 years, I believe. Mr. Goodwin. Thank you for giving them a warm Apple Valley High School welcome and to recognize the great work that they do in supporting our schools and our community. Now, please join me in welcoming Apple Valley senior Peter Beal to the stage. Peter is joining the United States Army after graduation, and he will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Blatzheim. I'm the Arts and Activities Director here at Apple Valley. We'll now hear a couple of musical presentations. The first presentation will be directed by Mr. Reed Larson. It will be from the Valley Select Chorale and a brass quintet from the Wind Ensemble. The piece is titled Homeland by Z. Randall Stroop. Dr. Stroop said of the piece, "Whether it be culture, religion, language, ties of blood, or some other aspect of a human life where heritage or connection to something greater is valued, there will always be a homeland." I felt compelled to write a stanza in the style of the original hymn. It underscores the reality that systems, political structures, and leaders will fall short. Guts run deep of those who have given their lives for our freedoms, and we must find the personal fortitude and commitment to carry on that legacy and make it even more secure. Please enjoy this performance of Homeland by the Valley Select Chorale. Thank you to Mr. Larson and the Valley Select Chorale. We'll hear another musical presentation now from the Apple Valley High School Wind Ensemble under the direction of Mr. David Scalise. The Wind Ensemble will be performing the piece American Salute, a piece composed during World War II by Morton Gould. The piece is based on the Civil War era song When Johnny Comes Marching Home and became one of Mr. Gould's most popular compositions. Please enjoy this performance from the Wind Ensemble of American Salute.
Thank you, Mr. Scalise and the Wind Ensemble. It's my pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Mr. David Passmore. Mr. Passmore is a veteran, a motivational speaker, and a mentor. He was born in Burnsville, Minnesota, and attended North Trail Elementary School before moving to Pennsylvania, where he eventually graduated from Strasburg High School. 2 days after his 18th birthday, he enlisted in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard as an infantryman. He wanted a purposeful life spent serving others and doing his part in ushering in a brighter future for everyone. Over the last 13 years of service, he lived that same purposeful life of integrity and selflessness, inspiring people all along the way. Please join me in welcoming Mr. David Passmore.
Good morning. Thank you all so very much for having me today. First and foremost, I want to thank all the administrators, staff, and teachers here at Apple Valley, not just for putting on this event today, and of course my invitation, which I'm very grateful for, but also what you as educators do every single day in providing the best education possible for all of you, ushering in a brighter future, and mentoring the next generation of leaders. And I want to be very clear. Each and every one of you are leaders. You know, I learned a lot serving 13 years, and a lot of what I'm going to discuss today I thought was exclusive to those who serve. And I realized after 13 years that we all share a common purpose. Every single one of us in this gymnasium share a common purpose. Before getting into that, though, of course, I want to extend a very sincere thank you to everyone who has served, is currently serving, and all of you who are considering service for this country, for yourselves, and most importantly, for each other. Thank you all so very much, and happy Veterans Day. You know, my entire life, I've been in search of purpose. I've always felt empty without it. As a young man growing up in Burnsville, then Farmington, and eventually in Pennsylvania, I always looked to the military to give me something, for me to discover something. And I thought that was purpose. And of course that contributed. But I realized after 13 years of serving that right now we all share the same purpose. Now, how do we define purpose? For everyone, it's a little bit different, because each and every one of us are strong immeasurably, and we do have a unique purpose. We have unique strengths, and we have unique qualities that we can all bring to the world and to each other to make it a better place. I would define purpose as to why we are here. My definition of purpose is why we do what we do, why we are who we are. It's why. It's the why that we do these things in our life, why we serve as police officers, as teachers, firefighters, soldiers. Now, it's imperative to understand our purpose, because to understand our purpose is to understand how we should conduct ourselves, how we give back to others, and why that's so vitally important. After being a soldier for 13 years, I did find my purpose in two ways. Number one, leading by example. And as I prefaced this speech, that you all are leaders, make no mistake, you can set the example for your classmates, for everyone in this auditorium. I understood that no matter who I'm talking to, where I'm talking to them, I have an opportunity to learn, to embrace, to show compassion, to show my purpose. That's number one. Number two, And this might be the most important one of all, and I think every single veteran who's ever served would agree that this is our common purpose: to lift each other up. I can't tell you how many times in high school I woke up and I dreaded the opportunity to go to school because I felt alone. I felt like a stranger in my own world. And whether it be battling depression or anxiety, which I've dealt with my entire life, I knew that every single day was an opportunity to allow another to thrive, to lift another up, even if I did not feel that way myself. I wanted to set the example, and I wanted to lift someone else up, and therefore lifting up the world. Those were the two purposes I discovered, not just discovered, but was reinforced as a soldier. Because, of course, those two same purposes are all of ours, universally. And I do mean everyone's. Every single one of our purpose in life is to make another feel good about themselves, to lift another up and let them know that anything is possible, to never give in to fear or discourse, to always strive for more. I realized after 13 years of service that those two purposes were not exclusive to myself as a soldier and to other service members, but it is, in fact, all of our universal purposes. Because I know I do not want a single one of you, whether you be in the bleachers today or on the court, I do not want a single one of you to ever feel like you don't belong. Everybody deserves a chance. Everybody deserves to be advocated for. And I'm here to tell you that that is possible. Each and every one of you can live that purpose. Now, how do we discover our role in that purpose? Because I'll tell you what, when I was growing up, I didn't always want to join the Army. I remember, I think it was about age 12. And I'll admit, one of the commercials got me. One of the commercials got me. But I saw something that I hadn't been accustomed to. You know, when I was growing up, I felt like an outcast. I was bullied a lot. I didn't feel like I belonged to anything. And I was unsure of my future. I was unsure of my path. And I was unsure of my own strength. And I do not want anyone to feel that way. You are all strong beyond measure. And the power that you have to change your own life and to decide your future and others is immeasurable. But it's discovering our role in this purpose that is most imperative. And for everyone in the bleachers right now, even more so. Through experience and time, you will learn more about yourself, more about your strengths, your capabilities, and what you're able to offer the world. And I'm here to tell you that I want you, and I think we can all agree, that we want everyone to embrace those qualities within yourself. Embrace who you are and what you can offer the world. And in time, if you do not know your role in that purpose right now, which a lot of you may not, until the day I enlisted, I was unsure of myself. But it doesn't take enlistment or service to realize your role in that purpose. You do not have to have a badge on your arm to have honor. You do not have to have a badge on your arm to have purpose. So I encourage all of you to look within yourself at your own personal and unique qualities and strengths to realize how you can lift each other up, to show love and compassion in the face of fear. And we can all lead each other into a better future. But again, do not panic. I did not understand my role when I was your age, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm 33 years old, and every single day I live and learn. I make mistakes. I learn and I grow. Do not rush the process. Do not rush growing up. Let time take care of that. Enjoy and embrace who you are and where you are. In time, you will discover your role in this world. Never feel like you're alone in that. Never feel like you're alone in that journey to discover who you are, your strengths, and your role in this world and in the future. Now, that brings me to the third point here, which is, of course, once we realize our role, purpose, lifting each other up, being a leader, once we realize our role in that, we must execute. We must embrace it and apply it. Execution is key. And again, that will come in time. Whether it is your career that you choose, whether it's volunteer opportunities, whether it's serving in the armed forces, find your role and be proud of it. And that brings me to one of the things that I always like to say, it lifts me up, and it's something recently that I've kind of realized in my life. You know, everyone says you got to live with your decisions, good or bad, right? And I agree with that. But more importantly, I want you to be proud of your decisions. I don't just want you to live with your decisions, because that's difficult enough. I want you to be proud of who you are, the decisions that you make in your life. Anything that we do with a noble heart, with an open heart, passionately. Most importantly, compassionately. If we do that, I want you to be proud of everything that you do and everything that you are. This goes out to all of you as individuals. It's hard when you're talking to an audience to reach the individual, but I want you to know that you should be proud of who you are and proud of your decisions. And we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, it's inevitable. And I was actually just talking to someone out there in the cafeteria. We're all our own worst critic. It's easy to get down on ourselves. But I want you to be proud of who you are, what you do, and even the mistakes you make, as long as they're done with a noble heart, as long as they're done passionately, and most important, compassionately, and align with our purpose. I want you to be proud of everything that you do. All right, as my time today comes to a close, and before I get into this last bit here, I do just want to give another very profound and sincere thank you to all of you who have served, are currently serving, and those who are thinking about service. I thank you. I want to end this with a challenge to all of you. This is a challenge to each and every one of you, and all of you at home. This is a challenge. You know, after 33 years of living, I have asked myself a million questions. And yes, every single one of them have filled me with self-doubt, have filled me with hesitation, and sometimes even fear, like we all experience, especially when you're young growing up. We ask ourselves a million questions like, what if I'm not good enough? What if that college I applied to won't let me in? What if I never get my dream job? What if I never meet the one? What if I never make friends? What if I never measure up? Often we put our future in the hands of others. When we submit our college application, we're sitting patiently and sometimes frantically to wait to hear back and for them to determine our future. We wait on others to determine our future. Well, my challenge here for you today is to take your future back. And next time you ask yourself one of those million questions and you're experiencing doubt, fear, hesitation, I want you to ask yourself, are you going to let that stop you? The next time you ask yourself one of those million questions, and I know they've been bad enough, they've kept me from getting out of bed. I didn't want to get out of bed some days when I was going to high school, whether it be the bullying, whether it be expectation, whatever the case may be. And I continue to let that fear eat away at me until just recently, after 33 years of living, I realized the most important question of all, far above the million that we ask ourselves sometimes on a daily basis, and that is, are you going to let that stop you? So the next time you're feeling doubt, make sure you ask yourself that question. Thank you all again so very much for having me. God bless you all. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Mr. Passmore. A good reminder about finding purpose and living in a world where we lift each other up, and I know that that's what all of our veterans committed to, is a world where we all lift each other up and take care of each other. We want to say thank you to you again. We'll now have a special musical salute as the Apple Valley High School Wind Ensemble plays a piece called the Armed Forces Salute, arranged by Bob Loudon. During this performance, all 5 theme songs from the Army, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Marines, the Air Force, and the Navy will be played. To honor the veterans and active duty military personnel with us this morning, we ask that you stand or wave when you hear your theme song. Mr. Scalise. The United States Army. United States Coast Guard. The United States Marine Corps. The United States Air Force. The United States Navy. Thank you, Mr. Scalise. On stage now behind me is Apple Valley's Ragazzo Cantanti Choir. This tenor-bass ensemble will be performing the song Tell My Father from the musical The Civil War. In the musical, the song is sung by a dying Union soldier who wants his father to know that he died fighting for the country he loved. Immediately after the performance, Assistant Principal Pete Biskins will come to the stage and lead us in a moment of silence for those veterans who gave their lives for our country.
Good morning. My name is Pete Biskins, and I am the assistant principal here. Thank you to all of our guests. The poet writes, "So long as they speak your name, you shall never die." Apple Valley has lost 3 graduates in or due to combat-related trauma defending our nation. United States Marine Captain Nathaniel Doring was a 1993 graduate of Apple Valley High School. He played on the soccer team. He enjoyed science, math, and aviation. He graduated from the Milwaukee School of Engineering and then joined the Marine Corps. He was a Cobra attack helicopter pilot, and his chopper went down in Iraq in 2006. He was a beloved husband, father, son, and brother. Nathaniel was proud to be an Eagle. Army Ranger, First Lieutenant Christopher Gakey, a 2004 graduate. He was in the wind ensemble. He played football. He was captain of the mock trial team and was a founding member of the Ultimate Frisbee team. Christopher went to West Point and graduated 6th in his class. In July of 2010, while defending his unit in Afghanistan, Christopher lost his life. He was a husband, a son, and a brother. Christopher was proud to be an Eagle and one of the best students that I ever had in class. Army Airborne Infantry Soldier Specialist First Class Blake Haggart was a 2010 Apple Valley graduate. He was a member of our wrestling team, always described as selfless, caring, and a student who could light up a classroom. Blake was part of the 82nd Airborne 504th Paratroop Infantry Regiment, where he served as a rifleman. He was wounded in an IED explosion in Afghanistan and awarded the Purple Heart. Blake died in 2014. He was a husband, a son, and a brother, and Blake was proud to be an Eagle. Captain Nathaniel Doring, First Lieutenant Christopher Gakey, Specialist First Class Blake Haggart. We speak your name. You are not forgotten. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor all those who we have lost in battle and those who have yet to come home. Thank you. At this time, we ask all of you to stand. Apple Valley Senior Jack Hill honors all of our veterans who have passed away with the playing of taps. Following taps, please remain standing as the Apple Valley American Legion retires the colors. Thank you.
Please be seated. Today, there are more than 24 million living veterans. They are among our nation's finest citizens. On Veterans Day, we honor their solemn pledge and uphold their legacy by teaching younger generations about their role in securing the blessings of liberty. To give our students a sense of the history that is present in our gym floor today, veterans, will you please stand or wave if you were in service during the following major military conflicts? The Iraq War from 2003 through 2011. The war in Afghanistan from 2001 through 2014. The Gulf War, 1990-1991. The Vietnam War from 1965 through 1973. The Cuban Missile Crisis and/or the Bay of Pigs invasion in Cuba of 1961. The Korean War of 1950 through 1953. And finally, I know that we have the honor of having someone who has served in World War II from 1941 through 1945, Mr. Al Yeager, and any other veterans from World War II. Thank you all for everything that you have done to secure our freedom and our liberties, and thank you for taking the time to spend with us today. I also want to thank Mr. Passmore, the Apple Valley American Legion Post of 1776, Superintendent Bolsoni and other members of his cabinet, Apple Valley City Mayor Hoopaw and members of the city government, Dakota County Commissioner Mary Heyman Rowland, the AVHS Wind Ensemble, the Valley Select Chorale, and the Apple Student Council and AVHS faculty and staff. All of these folks made today an incredibly special event. And finally, thanks to all of the Twin Cities veterans and active duty personnel who have come to Apple Valley High School here today. You are all heroes. Thank you so much. We're about to end this ceremony, and I'd like to ask that the floor guests to stay seated until the students have an opportunity to leave the gym. We will dismiss the student body in sections and not all at once, so please wait for my cue. Apple Valley High School students, thank you. Your attentiveness this morning has been outstanding. Thank you for demonstrating our value and our vision of Eagle Pride. It is alive and well. Thank you. This time I'd like to ask that students in the top halves of the bleachers, both on the north and the south side, if you would please wait 2 minutes before you get up to leave. Students in the lower half of the bleachers, you are now dismissed. Go to your third hour classes. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. Have a wonderful day.